Well, hello, everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in the room. I'm looking to see. I see you, Henrietta. Thank you so very much for your faithfulness of always being on when you can. I appreciate it so very much. It is a blessing to have people who are so faithful to be a part of the Manifest Monday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else? Troy. Thank you, Sean. Good, Sean. Come on in, come on in, come on in the room. I just have waiting to see who else is in the room. I can see that other. There you go. Okay, OJ. Thank you, son, for being in the room. That's right. Transformation is a different from change. Daisy, how you doing, ma'am? It's so good to have you on. It's so good to have you on. It's a blessing. I'm excited about this Manifest Monday. I'm excited about this day in July. Although, how you doing, Tamika? Yes, it's been hot. I'm telling you, this is an unusual time. How you doing, Danielle? I know that even back home where I'm from, the weather was pretty bad. There was 3 people that died, and a lot of trees that fell down on cars and houses. But we are. How you doing, Henrietta? But we are yet blessing God that it could have been worse. And so I'm thanking God for that. None of my family members or anybody that I know of that's a part of the Sanctuary Church, like Elder Gary and my family that's back there, they're all safe. I talked to my sister, my youngest sister, this morning. They didn't have any power, but she was safe. And the wind was blowing really hard. So we just want to keep up. I know there's a lot of flooding in Southwest Houston. So I know we need to keep them up, lifted up in prayer. So I just felicitate your prayers on today for those in the area of that storm. I also solicit your prayers as it relates to in my own family, my uncles, Gene Washington on my mother's side. His wife transitioned this morning, as well as keeping up Denise Gentry, who is down, her and her husband, John Gentry, have a church in India. I'm sorry, in Palm Desert. No, sorry, it's in Indio. Her grandmother transitioned on today. Of course, we read about Bishop Brown, who was, I just did research. I didn't really know who he was, but he did some lead singing with Hezekiah Walker. He was only 65. So we need to be in prayer for those family. And I just got a email today that one of my friends, Bishop Trevor Alexander, his wife, Overseer Emma Alexander, her father transitioned on today as well, and she's on her way to Sacramento. So I'm just that we continue to pray for those who are in who are mourning their transitioning of their loved ones. And I can only talk about how it was for me, but I know that it is, especially when things are unexpected. Even when it's expected, it still doesn't change the fact that it is a loss. But we know that absent from the body is present with the Lord. So we thank God for those people that we just spoke about, that their salvation and there is set. So we know that they are in glory, and we thank God for them, the time that we have with them on this earth. And while I'm talking about the time that we have with people on this earth, I want us to get into our mind and get into our spirit as we move forward into this year, that we don't miss the opportunities to fellowship with one with the other. We don't miss the opportunity to call our brothers and our sisters or our children, our grandchildren, whatever, and let us not continue to walk in any unforgiveness, because it doesn't do any good for you to cry for me when I'm gone, when you could have talked to me when I was here. So I just want us to be more mindful, hello, Candace, and more thoughtful as we move along, because in this time, there is going to be more, as much, I don't want to sound doom and gloom, but I'm sure that there's going to be other transitionings of other people's that's going to have to deal with in 2024. So we need to be prepared, but what we need to do is make sure that our loved ones are saved and that their salvation is secure. All right, enough of my talking. I want to move right into what you see as scrolling from the bottom of the screen, where we talk about transformation is different from change. When we all are looking to change, I mean, we're all looking to grow, we're all looking to mature and transform our lives. I mean, if you're not, then you're just not, you're not alive, because everybody or should be looking to change something about themselves, grow, mature. Even with me, I'm starting back to looking at exercise and getting on a bike in the morning. I got lackadaisical about it, but now I'm moving back into that mode, rather, not mood, but mode, and looking to grow even spiritually by looking at various avenues of maybe going back to school, maturing in Christ. You're never too old to mature and to just change your life, transform your life. That's what metamorphosis. That's all it is: transforming, changing some things about your life. It might be, in some people's cases, it might be losing a few pounds, which in my case, I'm looking at that as well. Some of us may be wanting to quit drinking coffee or caffeine, or anything like that, or saving money for that matter, or something more substantial like controlling our emotions, and becoming more Christ-like, or overcoming some type of addiction. And addiction, excuse me, addiction does not necessarily always deal with drugs. We can be addicted to a lot of things. You can be addicted to Facebook. You can be addicted to Instagram. You can be addicted to video games. That addiction. How you doing, Sylvester? All of those addictions, and we are looking to make some changes and lose some things and change some things as a release to those things that I just talked about. Change is possible for a few days, but then we revert back to our old ways. A lot of times we're good at change because it takes at least 6 weeks for a behavior to set in. So if I don't hang it out or keep it going for 6 weeks, and I stop anytime in there, I'm possibly going to revert back to my old nature of not getting up and getting on the bicycle, not getting up and doing what I need to do. So we understand that change is possible. And we also understand that change is not change until we change, but we also understand that if those changes, as we can see, some people started in January, they were going to do this, this, and this. They was highly excited, but here we are in July, and a lot of the things that people said they were going to do in January, they have yet to do in July. So we can see that if we're not careful in our desire to change, we can revert back to our old ways. But transformation rather, is different from change. And what do you mean by that, Bishop? It's an ongoing recalibration of our default setting. Okay, that sounds like a lot of technical terms. That's a $50 statement for the 25 cents mini, meaning that it's an ongoing me looking at myself, making the necessary adjustments, and going of my default setting so that I can make some transformation. Daily, I'm looking at my life. I'm looking at what I need to make changes and adjustments to, so that of the default setting, because a lot of time we fall back to our default setting. It's like with a computer. If you're going to give it to somebody, or if it's acting up and you take it back to the factory default. You take it back to where it was nothing on it, it was nothing, and then you try to reinstall the programs and whatever to get the computer working. Well, in our own life, we need to sometimes we need to recalibrate our lives. We need to go back and change some things, look at some things in ourselves, and see that we don't continue on in these things, because change is superficial modification, but transformation alters our core and manifests itself in our daily life. That's good right there. That's a good. Let me push pause, rewind, play. Change is superficial modification. Superficial modification, but transformation alters our core and manifests itself in our daily lives. I'm going to say that one more time. Change is a superficial modification, but transformation alters our core and manifests itself in our daily lives. What are you talking about, Bishop? What change is something that is surface like. It's superficial. In other words, when we see icebergs, and when I went to Alaska and I saw the iceberg, you see these little nice little icebergs, or some a little longer, but that is not the totality of what that is. Under the water, there's a bigger mass of ice. That's why the ships have to be careful, because they're thinking there's something little, but there's something connected to something bigger. So when we talk about change, it is superficial. It doesn't do very much. It's just like, it's like putting on makeup and taking it off. It's not the real thing, and it doesn't help. But transformation alters, it changes, it makes something different, and it manifests. It changes our core. In other words, it changes our being to manifest itself in our life daily. So when I'm transforming, that means that there's some daily changes going on in my life that should be evident to those that are watching as I walk out this transformation. For God's transformation in my own personal life and the lives of those I have pastored for some 20 years, ministered for over 30 years, I found some essential elements of transformation. Number one, change is possible. Change is possible. How you doing, Gary? I often meet people who are stuck, so stuck they believe who they are is who they have to be for the rest of their lives. Did you hear what I'm saying? Some people are stuck and they believe that who they are is who they have to be for the rest of their lives. There's no hope. They say things like, there's no hope. I'm a lost cause. And this is how God wired me. Change is possible. God sent Jesus and gives us an instruction book, not only changes us, but also totally transforms us from this world and for this world and for eternity. He gave us an instruction book, the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. He gave us instructions not only for this world, but for eternity. So he sent Jesus to give us these instructions. Hello, Elder Gary. And to give us these instructions for us to grow and change in. So change is possible. We say, wait a minute, you said there's a difference between change and transformation. Yes, there is. But what I'm trying to get you to see, that in order for me to transform, I not to understand that it is possible for me to change. It is possible for me to change. It doesn't mean, I don't care how old you are, how long you've been doing something, it is possible for you to change. All you have to do is stick to the regimen of what it is you're trying to do. Like I said, it takes 6 weeks for a behavior to stick in. So I got to be dedicated. Excuse me, I got something in my nose, but I don't know. I have to be dedicated to keep on pushing forward until these 6 weeks, so that now my muscle memory in my mind now is accustomed to doing this. So I'm accustomed to getting up. I'm accustomed to praying. I'm accustomed to watching my budget. I'm accustomed to staying on track. I'm accustomed to making sure I do things in decent and in order. So when I start doing these things, they are now becoming a habit, and they're now becoming a part of my behavior, and now they're becoming a part of my transformation of myself. So I have to stick to it and understand that change is possible. Number two, identify and define specific goals. Identify and define specific goals. That's number two. First of all, you're never going to be able to make, even when you realize that change is possible, if you don't identify and define specific goals, you have just wasted a whole lot of time. To accomplish anything, I want you to hear me, to accomplish anything, we need goals. I need you to get that in your spirit. To accomplish anything, we need goals. Leaving home with no goals of reaching work will get us nowhere. If you left home and you didn't have a goal of getting to work, you would never get there. Randomness never helps us achieve goals. Randomly doing stuff does not help you achieve goals. Unfortunately, we often have vague goals instead of specific goals. Goals help us focus on what we want then allow us to precisely set our internal GPS, God positioning system, to facilitate the most efficient path to our destination. Ooh, that's a lot of words. I'm going to read it again, then I'm going to give you the bonus version of it. God goals help us focus on what we want, then allow us to precisely set our internal GPS, God positioning system, to facilitate the most effective path to our destination. Okay, what does that mean? Goals help me to focus on getting where I need to get. Goals help me to focus on getting on where I need to get. Because if I have goals, I'm going to be specifically, precisely focusing on the things I need to get there. I'm not going to do anything outside of what I need in order to get there. I won't be getting distracted by this. That's not a part of what I need to get to my goal, my destiny. That I don't need to do that to get to my destiny. I need to do this. So I have to have these specific goals in mind so they can help me to set my internal God positioning system to facilitate me getting on the most effective way of getting to my destiny. Determining and identifying specific goals dramatically, I want you to hear this, dramatically improves our chances for achieving them. If you want to dramatically achieve your goals and dramatically achieve specific goals, rather, you need to determine and identify. It's going to increase your chances. If I don't determine and identify what they are, I'm never going to get there. If I know, so let me just put it in another way. My determining thing is I want to go to Sacramento. I identify I want how to get to Sacramento. So now I identified the quickest way to get to identify, because my determining factor is I want to get there. That's my goal. I need to get there. I want to get there. So how do I get there? There's a lot of ways to get there, but what is the best effective way to get there? Then I calculate all of that, and then I move in that direction. If it tells me go down to Yucca and take 247, then take the 18 to the 15 and take the 15 to whatever, then I need to go that way. And here's something you have to, I love when you got GPS in your car, is that if there's delay, like mine will tell me that there's obstacles in the road ahead. My GPS will tell me that there's a delay. I set it in there to go this way, but it'll tell me to get off and go this way to avoid all of the traffic jams that are ahead. So we have to have and determining and identifying our set goals so that they can specifically help us to achieve them more effectively. Ask yourself today, what goals have God placed in your heart? Where is God calling you to? And how can I serve God today? What goals have God placed in my heart? Where is God calling me? And how can I serve him today? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. I'm going to say it one more time. What goals have God placed in your heart? Where is God calling you to? And how can you serve him better today? And number 3, be motivated. You know, it's like in the book, motivation. I have to be motivated. I have to motivate myself. David said I had to encourage my own self. That's the same as motivating. I got to get up every morning. I don't want to get up that early. I don't want to do this. I don't like getting up that early. We can tell ourselves all the things that we don't want to. I don't want to have to eat this. I don't want to have to go there. I don't want to have to restrict my budget. I don't want to have to do all those things. But those are the things that I have to be motivated towards getting done. Because one of the things I learned and I saw, and it helped me along the way, was this. When I was in a financial strain, and Pastor May and I was digging ourselves out of holes that we dug, when we would get to a place where we were able to pay up, we started at our goal was, okay, we can't pay off these big ones. Let's tackle these little ones. So we doubled up on the little ones. And then when the little one was paid off, we took the money that was paid for the little one, and now we paid to the next one. And we kept tackling that one. And when we got that one done, we went to the next one till eventually we got to a place where our head was significantly above water. And here's an insight that you need to know. When you buy in a car or a house, when you pay your payment, you're mostly, if it's a 30 or 15 year, most of your payment is on interest. I don't know why I'm going this way, but I'm gonna go. Most of your payment is interest. If you want to cut down the amount that you have to pay, all you do is you make the payment on time, and then a day later you send the same amount of money again, or however amount you can afford, back to the place that has a mortgage or have the car, whatever. You send that whatever amount you can, even if you can double up, then double up. Then that amount you send now goes on the principal and not the interest. We have to learn how to be smart. That should motivate me. Motivate you. Hey, look, I've learned something. I know how to do things. I know, hey, let me tackle this little one. This was only $200. So let me pay this one off and take the 50, because the $200 could take you up to 10 years to pay off if you just pay the minimum. 2 years could take you up to $1,000 if you just pay the minimum. You should never pay the minimum. You pay what and then you put something after you make the payment, so that you can cut that price, cut that cost down on you. Because when you pay the minimum, you're just paying interest, and it's just going to take you longer. So, hey, my minimum payment is $15. I paid them on the 15th, $15. I send them $100 on the 16th. That $100 now is going towards that $200. Now I only owe $90 or $95 or $85 rather. I make my next payment. I send another $50. Now you get rid of it. Now, instead of saying, oh, I got an extra $15, no, I'm going to take that $15. I don't know, not know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to keep on going. I take that $15 now that I was paying on this other bill. Now, when I pay the next bill may be 30. Well, I can't double up on that, but I do have $15 extra that I can put over here. So I make my payment and I send that $15. Now my $400 bill is now the principal has dropped, while this other one is working on the interest. We have to be motivated. That should just motivate us to want to do things the right way. That should motivate us to know that that is good. The question is, who motivates the motivator? Motivator motivates the motivator. That's right. I have to motivate King David. 1 Samuel 30 and 16. Sometimes we look for people to motivate us. I got to motivate myself. You got to I'm trying to motivate you now so that you would motivate yourself. Not only financially, but personally, but and relationship wise and emotionally and forgiveness. Motivate yourself. I refuse to allow circumstances and situations to keep me bound and in bondage when I can break these chains and get from under this bondage and be free. And who the Son sets free is free indeed. I know it's in I taught that sermon, that scripture is talking about salvation, but I'm still free. And I'm motivated about it. I'm excited about it because I understand that I can do something about my situation with the right information. That's why you have to have, I think I said defining and identifying. Now, I've given you some tools to put in your tool belt. Some of you may know that. Some of you may not. But you now, if nothing else, you have tools to help somebody else who may be in a situation that don't understand and thinking they're always going to be there. You don't always have to be there. You don't always, how you doing, son? Miss you so much. How you don't have to be there. Learn how to motivate yourself. Certain changes might be necessary for our health and financial reason, while others might move us toward exciting opportunities. Stop turning your nose up at exciting opportunities because it doesn't do what you want it to do. If God opens the door, bust your way in there. Not bust your way in there, but go in there with excitement and motivation. Regardless of change, requires breaking old habits. We got to break the old habits of stagnation. We got to break the old habit of being stuck. We got to break the old habit of things got to go the same way to always. We got to be excited about trying new things, new inventions, new intuition. No, not intuitions. New invention in Let me get this right. Witty inventions, things that we have not seen before. Maybe it didn't work in 2019, but it'll work in 2024. Let's get excited and break these old habits that has been keeping us in bondage. Shedding the old self for one new one's isn't easy. I know it's not easy. It took us a while. We didn't get it right the first time. We got ourselves out and got ourselves back in again. But once you remember, once you get out of something and you get back in it, it hurts and it makes you smarter. Hey, look, I say, hey, look, dummy, talking to myself, not talking to you. We're not gonna do that again. I stuck my finger in that socket and I got shocked. I'm not gonna do that again. I'm going to do something different so I can break the old habits, so I can shed the old person. And so knowing that it's not easy, but it's vital. Motivation is not, shedding your old self is not easy, but it is vital. Realizing the consequences of maintaining the status quo will energize you. When I look at, say, I'm gonna keep on paying this $200. It's been 3 years and I'm still paying on a $200 loan. No, it's got to be a better way. Everything. I'm going to even go one a little bit deeper. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I'm going to help some people, or you can help some people. Even with buying a car, most of you know this because most of you know how we do it at the Sanctuary Church. You get pre-approved. Then you go and then you research within a 50-mile or 100-mile radius, in some cases, maybe 150-mile radius. And you look at the prices of that car you're looking for. And you see what the average cost is. And you go locally and they say, well, that's as low as we're going to go. Okay, bye. Because I know I can buy that car somewhere else for what I want to pay for it. I don't need you to run my credit. I don't need you to check. I need you to take my check, give me my car, and let me drive off. We need to do that. Houses, pre-approved. So you don't have to go get a loan. You already got it. When they say we want $400,000, I got approved for $400,000. There you go. I don't got to run no credit. I'm already good. Here's your money. We got to learn to be smarter so that we can start breaking the old habits of being in bondage to everything. Let's be the lender and not the borrower. And at the time, understanding the rewards of emotional and spiritual growth, we got to understand the rewards. When I grow spiritually, it is so exciting. When I grow emotionally, when I don't let things turn me and get me excited and get me mad and fresh, it's so excited, especially as you reap the fruit of the Spirit and honor God. When I reap the fruit of the Spirit of joy, love, peace, I'm honoring God. It's a supreme motivator. A supreme motivator is honoring God. Remind yourself daily of the pros and cons of change to keep your motivation. Well, if I don't change, what's going to happen? If I do change, this could happen. If I don't change, this could continue to happen. But if I do change, something new could happen. I need to tell myself the pros and cons of what I'm trying to do so I can keep myself motivated. The enemy, and I'm going to end with this. I know I'm almost out of time, but not out of message. But I'm going to end with this thought. The enemy will tell you that remaining stagnant is better than transforming, but he's lying. The enemy will tell you that remaining stagnant is better than transforming, but he's lying. The enemy will tell you that remaining stagnant is better than transforming, but he's lying. What do you need to do? Keep moving. Keep moving. And like we did on yesterday, keep digging. Because there's water under the dirt. It was clogged up because we got stagnant. But if we keep moving and keep digging, we will reap what we need. Well, I'm all out of minutes, but not out of message. I pray this has been a blessing to you. I forgot to say share, but I know you're going to share this because this is something important that you need to share with people, because I'm telling you, just the stuff that we talked about right on here that it should be revolutionary and changing people's lives. If it didn't change yours, it should definitely change the lives of those that you know. So I love you. Nothing you can do about it. We're going to be building, we're going to be evangelizing, and we're going to be equipping. And now we got our shovel out and we're going to keep digging. Love you. Grace and peace be multiplied unto you.